Night before Christmas. One Christmas Eve, it was a cold, stormy night, and nothing at the North Pole was going quite right. The sleigh was all packed and the reindeer were drowned, but Santa did not have his Santa suit on. Mrs. Claus was in bed and feeling quite sick, so doing the laundry was a job of Saint Nick. The power went off, so by light of the fire, Santa snatched his clean suit right from the dryer. He buttoned his coat, but he hadn't a clue just what he had put his red Santa suit through. From the can on the shelf, in the light that was faint, what he thought was the soap had been purple paint. He jumped in his sleigh and then took to the sky. Then he let a big gasp when the change caught his eye. Oh goodness, oh gracious, oh this will not do. My suit has become a discreetly odd hue. But way behind schedule, with so far to go, he thought to act normal so no one would know. He quickly delivered the presents around, but when he returned home, he looked and he found that in all of the places that night he had gone, people had noticed the purple suit he had on, and the series of phone calls that came later that day told stories of changes as he passed in his sleigh. The stocking that hung by the chimney with care were replaced with old shoes or long underwear, and the elves were now trolls, full 7 feet tall. They couldn't do well to stay hidden at all. Soon all of the Christmas trees, once green and brown, became brown with orange tint and hung upside down. The carol still sang, but the song sounded funny. No milk and cookies, instead tea and honey. And now Christmas seemed lost as they saw something new. The fur on the reindeer turned blueberry blue. The antlers burned brightly with small candle flames, but things really turned odd when he called out their names. On Corkle, on Flibber, on Duckson and Harry, on Piplin and Scooter and twins Rex and Jerry. Christmas had changed so much on that day. Now a small jilt was parked in place of the sleigh. But the strangest of all to dear Santa, I think, was the new fallen snow, now shining bright pink. The birth candy canes that were dual black and white caused Santa to shout out, "Now this is just not right!" Thus his jolly ho-haws were now little ha-has. Could it be we were losing the real Santa Claus? Christmas is ruined and it's all of my fault. This new purple suit brought it all to a halt. He wished he had not washed it, not in that paint. I take it all back, said the unjolly saint. As panic began to swirl round in his head, the snowman alarm clock went off by his bed. Santa opened his eyes. Was it all just a dream? Is everything fine as it always should seem? The snow falling outside was glistening white, and the elves were themselves to Santa's delight. The sleigh was all packed and displayed on the lawn, with happy brown reindeer set to fly until dawn. All of the things that had seemed such a wreck were perfectly normal with one thing to check. There hanging in view at the foot of his bed was his old Santa suit all clean and still red. His wife helped him dress, and then after he ate, he said, "I must go now, for I cannot be late." He told her the dream, how it made his heart pump. Then onto the sleigh he leapt with a jump. He took up the reins with a smile and a sigh, leaned over to kiss her and tell her goodbye. Then, laying a finger aside of his nose, he whispered, "From now on, dear, you wash the clothes." He blowed ho ho as they rose through the air, with a joy in his heart and present to share. And I heard him exclaim as he took off that night, "Merry Christmas to all, now that Christmas is right." There's a moral to the story that's perfectly clear. If we hope to keep Christmas so merry and dear, Santa should stick to the things that he knows and should not be allowed to wash his own clothes.